Today we'll be analyzing capital ship warfare from the 2000 game Tachyon the Fringe. Yes, I am old enough to have played it as a kid. Though it is primarily a fighter sim, capital ships still play a major role in the gameplay and combat as a whole. So without further ado, the first thing that must be understood when it comes to the world of Tachyon, specifically the logistics of war, is how exactly things move from point A to point B. And that is completely dependent on what size of ship we're talking about, as smaller craft, such as fighters, have to rely on a portal network made up of two-way TCG gates to travel fast and light between sectors. The larger capital ships, like freighters or carriers, are far too large to use these gates, so instead they're equipped with portable, though resource-intensive, TCG drives that allow them to independently enter hyperspace. But even so, gates and nav beacons are used for calculating jumps. As such, all movement of military forces, no matter their size, are almost fully dependent on the functionality of the gate network, and by extension, their control of them. Properly equipped fighter craft are quite capable of defending these gates from enemy fighters and capital ships alike. This control isn't absolute, however, as any capital ship can still jump into even a blockaded sector and launch its onboard contingent of fighters to take the fight to the enemy. While a capital ship is a powerful force to be reckoned with, they're still quite vulnerable to being overwhelmed by fighters. This balance of logistics and force dynamics is well exemplified by the Bora mission entitled Offline Minefield, in which the skirmish of New Dawn sector took place. Before the start of the mission, a pair of Galspan frigates, the Aphrodite and Apis, had secretly jumped into the sector and was in the process of disabling a massive minefield set up by the Bora to keep Galspan from using it as a staging ground for further advancement into their territory. Their small carried complement of 4 Orion multi-role fighters provide a limited escort to the frigates. During the player's mission, they're tasked with dispatching the escorting Orion fighters, thus leaving the 2 frigates open to counterattack. While the player's lone fighter can withdraw back to safety, should they choose, they can also aid in the pending counterattack by disabling the frigate's power generators, keeping them from jumping away. One of the Bora's precious few carriers, the Fortress, jumps in as soon as the Orions are taken care of, negating the threat they posed. Within seconds, its offensive force of fighters is launched to engage the frigates directly. This force contains 4 Mace interceptors to run interference and provide target saturation, and then quickly followed by 4 Claymore heavy bombers and another 4 Leviathan gunships for heavy anti-capital ship firepower. The carrier itself would support the bombers and gunships with its own capital ship grade beam weaponry, though its shields would take quite a beating doing this. Both frigates are destroyed one after another, though the attacking fighter craft are greatly diminished in strength, leaving only a couple of them after the battle. It's pretty clear that the fighters and bombers are the linchpin of the entire engagement, as they're the focus to be removed before they're willing to bring in a far larger and more powerful carrier to counter a pair of mere frigates. The fighters and bombers are the real offensive firepower, while the capital ships function as fighter transports and combat support instead of as frontline assault vessels. Overall, this is quite reminiscent of modern naval warfare, where a similar power dynamic exists between fighters and warships. So what does everyone think of this balance of power between warships and fighters? Should the capital ships play a more frontline role? If you'd like to see more videos like this, please go ahead and comment below. Thank you very much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe for more content, and remember, this was your first pass at Tachyon's capital ship warfare.